Hi, I'm Bryan Davis from Seven Springs Mountain Resort Snow Sports School, and I'm here today to talk about riding goofy on a snowboard. For this, you're going to need a snowboard. Riding goofy is riding with your right foot leading you, and goofy riders are those people that generally ride with their right foot leading them in the direction of travel. Riding goofy could be a regular rider riding switch, thus their right foot is leading. Regular riders, left foot leads. Goofy riders, the right foot leads. Switch or fakie would be the opposite of what you normally ride. And riding goofy for a regular rider would be riding switch. Normally, people think it's hard to ride the other way from their normal riding because they don't do the same things they normally do, or perhaps their board is set up differently, or they're trying too hard to do big things all at once. And those are the 3 points I'd like to talk about right here. First, if you're going to switch directions and ride the opposite way of your norm, look at your equipment. It may be set up in a directional stance. Mine is set up completely duck, so there is no difference. It's a twin tip board. My binding angles are 12 and minus 12, exactly the opposite of each other. If you were to chop my board in half in the middle, fold it over, it would exactly match. But some people have a directional stance on their board. The tip may be longer than the tail. The bindings could be at different angles on the lead foot and the trailing foot, particularly facing in the normal direction of travel. So don't expect exact same results from the same movement patterns if your bindings or equipment overall are not set exactly the same. Outside of that, look at your movements. If your equipment is the same and your movements are the same when riding switch, then your outcome should be very, very similar, and perhaps exactly the same if you were in exactly the same space in the world on the same snow. Most people tend to tense up, not do the same things that they do when riding switch that they do when they're riding in their regular preferred style, be it regular or goofy. That is to say that if you make a toe side turn by first opening the ankle joint or extending the ankle joint when riding regular, and you turn around and it doesn't seem to work riding goofy, check it out and see if you are actually making that same movement with the ankle joint to start the turn. Lastly, start with small things. Don't go to the biggest, steepest hill you can find and start your first try riding switch just because you can do it regular. When you're checking out these movement patterns, take it to smaller terrain, easier hills, things that are less challenging, because you're elevating the challenge in the task. You can actually, reduce the challenge in the terrain itself. Those are some tips to riding goofy or switch.